Hey guys, Bug Out back here. I know it's been a little while since I've made any kind of videos or done any updates or anything online, really. It's been a hell of a year to say the least, and good, bad, and indifferent. You guys aren't here to learn about my personal life, so I won't bore you with the details. But what I am going to talk about today is actually directly related to things that have been going on in my life and kind of opening my eyes to, when we talk about being prepared, what all are we really preparing for, and are we as prepared as we really think we are? Countless things in the prepper community we talk about being prepared for natural disasters, making sure you have enough food piles stocked up, making sure you have enough water, making sure you have an action plan to get you out of the disaster zone that you're in. Medical training. There's a whole list of things that we think of when we think of prepper or being prepared or handling situations. One area that we forget to think about a lot is the mental state and how important that is. And in fact, it could be the main difference between life and death in a shit hits the fan scenario. Again, not to bore you guys with too much details, but as some of you may have known just by watching some of my other videos, I was engaged. I was in a 5-year-long relationship and with someone that I love deeply. And over time, the relationship started to get toxic. Again, I won't go into too much details, but it became evident that it wasn't going to work out no matter how hard I tried. I could do everything in my power to get us in a better state, but it wasn't reciprocated on both ends. It eventually came to a point where I got pushed to my brink, and I got pushed to the edge and over. And I'm essentially snapped and my demons came out. Now, don't worry, I didn't do anything that would put me in jail. In fact, the only person that I technically hurt was myself. And it was at that point several things came to realization for me. For one, I had to, for my own safety, for physical and mental health, I needed to get out and I needed to take care of myself. But then as the breakup continued, even though I was the one that initiated it, when I actually, on the day that I ended it, and the only words that came out of her mouth were selfish, self-absorbed thinking, it kind of destroyed me. Well, I guess I'm still here today, so I can't say destroyed, right? But it crushed me, and it crushed me hard. And it put me in a very, very bad mental state. And I at that point realized that in the prepper community we like to think that we're all badasses, right? We like to think that we're going to survive the zombie apocalypse or whatever the case may be. We like to tell ourselves that we're prepared. We like to tell ourselves that we are top-notch. The reality is, until you're faced with certain events, something as simple or maybe not simple as a breakup, it could be a death of a loved one, it could be shit hits the fan and the world's going crazy. Until you're actually in one of those kind of scenarios, you may be as well physically prepared, as well prepared in your supplies, but are you truly mentally prepared? I'm man enough to say that I was not prepared. My mental state was not where it needed to be to handle this kind of situation. Now, situations are different for everybody. When it comes to fight or flight, as you might have heard that terminology, I definitely would consider myself more of a fighter than a flighter. But in reality, in this particular situation, with where my mental state was at, it damn near destroyed me. I was not in a good state. And it was definitely a battle. This is why the whole point of this video is to advise you that be prepared in every aspect. Certain things we just plain cannot prepare for. My situation I couldn't have truly prepared for. But it's how we react afterwards that is going to determine how strong we really are. I wish that I would have handled the situation a little bit better. I wish that I would have been a little bit stronger. But now that I've experienced it, I know that I'm in a better state now. And I know that I'm more prepared for a crisis scenario. I'm hoping that I won't ever have to experience this exact same crisis scenario, but we don't know what the future holds. What I'm trying to explain is we need to make sure that we're mentally preparing ourselves in any aspect, be it through, I don't know, a self-help book if you really feel like you need that, or be it just sitting down day to day thinking of what you're thankful for, being positive, thinking to yourself, if A happens, what will B do as my action plan? Maybe test some of those scenarios out. People test scenarios where, okay, we're being evacuated, we need to get everybody on point and move forward, and that's cool. Try thinking about adding a stress level to that, or maybe make a scenario that's only involved around stress level. Now, don't do anything crazy and don't, fake deaths or anything, but try to think of how can I make sure that I'm mentally prepared as well as prepared in every other aspect. Because at the end of the day, our mind is really the most powerful thing that we have. In the prepper community, you can buy all the tactical supplies that you want. You can buy all the freeze-dried food. You can buy every knife and gun. You can stockpile ammo. But at the end of the day, what's more powerful than your mind? What good are those supplies if you're not in the mental state to use them? What good is that food if you're so devastated that you can't eat? Just something to think about. And as always, be prepared.